Hey everyone, Deadpool 2 is the new superhero movie that everyone is now turning their sights to for a more, hopefully lighthearted change of pace from the heartbreak that was Infinity War. But one big question on the eve of Deadpool's premiere, who is this secret cameo that the movie added during reshoots? Did Ryan Reynolds finally convince Hugh Jackman to take an encore bow for a fellow Weapon X alum? I think it was maybe a little too New Zealandy, but
that was 100% cute. I'm so upset.
This is one of those.
I think that the technical term is New Zealandy. We'll talk about Deadpool 2 if Maude can ever forgive me for that terrible accent. First, welcome to New Rockstars News, everyone. It's our deep dive into all the biggest stories from this week. We're also going to talk about Infinity War and a big plot detail that might have been dropped for Avengers 4 and possible titles for future MCU movies, news about Rick and Morty and Solo, a Star Wars story, and more. We got it all here. You don't need to go look at other places. Just come here every Friday and join us. I'm Erik Voss. Joining me at this table are...
Over here, Sam. Hi, everybody.
Hi. I'm Maude Garrett, and I'm in a new seat, and it feels pretty good.
And I'm DJ Wooldridge, and they let me back. They
Yay.
let me back after last week.
Welcome, everybody. Okay, let us start with our top story, Deadpool 2. The premiere is only a week away, and Deadpool has been celebrating with a number of goofy promo spots. He danced in high heels alongside Celine Dion in the Ashes music video. It's so great. He also did a sketch with David Beckham apologizing for making fun of his voice in the first movie. He also released a Deadpool Demands Your Silence parody letter of the Infinity War THANOS Demands Your Silence letter. It's pretty great. You should definitely read it. It does have some naughty words in it, because this is Deadpool. That's how it goes. But in these final weeks, the appearances that have caused the most speculation have been ones with Hugh Jackman. I'm not even going to try an accent this time. A few months back, the movie's reshoots included a new secret cameo, leading fans to wonder if Wolverine or Hugh Jackman might make an appearance in the movie. Hugh Jackman, of course, has shot down these rumors repeatedly in the past. Last year, the film's writers were open to the idea of it, hoping to get maybe a clever spin on it. Maybe Wade could meet Hugh as Hugh, the actor who, of course, exists in the world of the movie. Wade wore the Sexiest Man Alive cover, which was Hugh Jackman, so he is in that world somewhere. Recently, Deadpool showed up in a Twitter video that Hugh Jackman made for a fan, leading everyone to wonder, well, what they were doing together. And then this week, Jackman went on Good Morning America and sent a special message to Ryan Reynolds, joking, back it up a little, with Reynolds' request for him to make a cameo. He said, play a little hard to get, it's too much, it's not sexy. Do you guys think it's possible that all this playfulness and this banter could be teasing a cameo by Hugh Jackman or Wolverine in Deadpool 2? And if not Hugh Jackman, who would you like this secret cameo to be?
100% Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Why? Because Hugh Jackman is the best person on the planet currently.
Yeah, he's
so
great.
Nice.
Also, I love that you broke down. It's like, well, if the magazine exists, then Hugh Jackman.
It's Deadpool. There is a fourth wall is demolished.
That's just a That's just a magazine.
Yeah.
If Hugh Jackman and Wolverine exist, then in this movie they'll meet for 1 second, shake hands, and that'll be the end of it. No, it'll be. It probably is just going to be Hugh Jackman showing up, and I'm fine with that.
I hope it is Hugh Jackman as Hugh Jackman, though. I want them to have retired Wolverine with Logan.
Right.
And they pull like a John Noble on Legends of Tomorrow, where it's him as the actor.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to be Hugh Jackman's going to punch Deadpool in the face and be like, Ryan, stop it! Stop it! And he's like, what are you doing? Deadpool.
Yeah, it's. I think anything that Deadpool says to camera can be construed as like, this is just outside of the universe of the show or of the movie. Like, doesn't he have a joke at the beginning of the first Deadpool where he mentions something like he gives a shout out to Hugh Jackman right before he does the maximum effort jump down into the motorcade?
I think he does. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, he does some kind of joke
Well, they
there.
also talk about the first Deadpool iteration, which we don't talk about,
right,
which
the-
you couldn't talk about.
Yeah, there's so many little jokes. Like you in the most recent trailer breakdown, you had the thing of the slicing the bullets.
Oh, yeah,
That's a good joke.
That
That's
is
a
a really
solid
good joke.
Yeah.
Also, because it made no sense when he did it in the first movie, so I'm
Yeah.
glad they called it out. But if it were another cameo, maybe Professor X, but it's like, that's not as fun. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And we already had his super depressing death in Logan. Like,
It was so
unbelievably
dark.
depressing. So just let him go to sleep.
What about this? David Hall or Legion? Would that get the kids excited?
Sure.
Yeah, look at this kid. This guy has severe mental problems, but his show really you can't
really
follow
cool.
Hey,
linearly.
talk about depressing, man. The most recent episode of Legion is
I'm not
heartbreaking.
caught up yet.
It's
episode
heartbreaking.
5.
It's destroying.
That's too
geez.
insular.
That
No,
makes me want to watch it.
Yay!
Yeah.
No, it's the whole cast of Gifted, and everyone's like, "Who are these people?
Who are these people?
Who are these people?" It's like that. It's okay. That show probably is gonna get canceled.
Yeah, who else could it possibly be that would get people as excited as Hugh Jackman?
Captain America.
I mean, yeah.
Yes,
but
well,
that's
not
not
gonna
gonna
see you.
You found that photo, that set photo. It's like Avengers 4, could you be? And it was like it looks like an edit from an old like Avenger. Maybe it's an Avengers 4 set photo that someone found.
Yeah.
But it also looks like a set photo from the first Deadpool movie, and they're like edited together. It's like, could that be? What if it was reversed? What if they did like a little crossover between Avengers 4 and Deadpool 2? Why? It helps no one out. They're already both going to make all the money.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not going to make us want to see either of them.
I hope they had time to do some sort of little like nod to the end of Infinity War, like a little post-credit, like oh no,
Or just have Josh Brolin snap his fingers at some point in the movie.
That would make me really happy. I think.
You guys know that people have already seen Deadpool and they've done like just social tiny little reviews already, and they're saying that the post-credit scene for Deadpool 2 is pretty much the best part of the movie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a knock to the rest of the movie?
No,
Or-
they love the movie. A lot of people saying that they actually preferred to the original, so that the sequels
Oh, wow,
are
that's
good,
great.
which
That's
doesn't
very
usually
exciting.
happen.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
We are
not at
seeing
all.
it on Monday,
Cartoon.
though,
Yeah.
so we'll report back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the post-credit scene.
Very excited for it.
And we'll have, like, of course, reviews of the post-credit scene and a review of the movie and full breakdown and all that good stuff that we do for every movie. But yeah, we've done a couple trailer breakdowns for this movie, and didn't Colossus show up at some point, maybe in one of the trailers? Where it
Yeah.
kind of looks like Colossus.
And there's definitely Colossus, but there was a tease that it looked like Juggernaut was in it, so that was pretty exciting.
yeah.
It
Really?
looked like I tried not to tell you, but it looks like when they're in that big convoy, there's like a thermal scan of someone in the back of the truck, and it's like this enormous person, and then Colossus is punching this round dome thing.
Yeah, that's his head.
That's what I was referring
I would
to,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
real, honest to God Colossus. I
It
think
looks
that'd be
like
cool.
it looks like
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut.
Excuse
Yeah, I mixed
me.
up Juggernaut.
Yeah,
But you
it's all
didn't
good,
like
yeah.
X-Men 2's Juggernaut?
X-Men 3.
3. Is that
Yeah.
3 that Juggernaut?
That was Vinny
No,
Jones.
yeah, yeah.
I like Vinny Jones a lot.
They're blurring.
Yeah.
I don't feel
The
so good.
timelines are all mixed up, so
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Colossus in his human form. I think in the first Deadpool, he spent the whole time in
Yeah.
this metallic
we did get
form.
3 movies of him. Act 4, kinda, because he was in like a little bit in the first one, more in the second movie, in the third, and he popped up in Days of Future Past as the human version.
Yeah.
I'm fine if he's just the.
Was it X-Men 3 that he did both? Where you
Yeah.
saw him when the
Yeah.
school got infiltrated?
Yeah.
I'm trying to redeem
Yeah.
myself, guys. Trying to get my geek credit back.
There's been a lot of X-Men movies.
Yeah. Well, let us know what cameo you would like to see in Deadpool 2 if you've already seen it.
Channing Tatum is Gambit.
I mean, that would be the next a goofy one that they could kind of make fun of.
Don't
and yeah.
make that face.
Do you want? I mean, it's not gonna.
Yes.
It's not gonna happen.
It's the closest we'll ever get to the movie.
Movies, yeah.
I
It's
want
cameo in
it.
this movie.
Because now that the merger looks like it's kind of happening, I don't think
Oh my gosh, and then
that movie
Taylor
might have
Kitsch
been.
rocks up as well, and it's just like awkward. It's like an audition. Oh.
Hey, and Gambit and Deadpool were both in Wolverine Origins.
They were.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
did
yeah.
happen.
That did happen.
They were, yeah. It'd be nice, there's this whole scene in the movie that we've seen from the trailers where there's like a casting lineup, and that's where like Peter shows up and Domino shows up, and
they
they're running
could
through the
have so
headshots.
many good
They could just have like put in so many
That'd
different
be
cameos that
great.
people be like, nah,
Actually,
you're not
that
right
would
for us.
be really good because
Yeah.
then you could make deep cuts like David Haller from Legion
Yeah.
or Channing Tatum as Gambit, and that'd be. We're hyping ourselves up too much.
Yeah, dismiss them however you want. Be like, no, you're not relatable enough.
Dupe? What if it's Dupe? If you guys don't know, Dupe is this weird green Slimer looking dude
Yeah.
who is a mutant, but he doesn't speak English. He just speaks his own little like Dupe
speaks in Dupe.
language.
Doopy doo.
Yeah, it's like you can't. It does not
I am
written in
Dupe?
words.
Yeah, that's the best description of Dupe you could possibly get.
Well, yeah, let us know what cameo you would like to see. And yeah, if you have seen the movie, don't spoil in the comments. Because I know a lot of you like live in countries that, awesome, you get like advanced access to movies. But here in America, for most of us, the release date is going to be like Thursday/Friday the 17th.
Our favorite tweets are when you guys are like, not a spoiler, but why would Spider-Man die at the end? If you had to guess, what would be a good reason? It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I always get like paragraph-long DMs. It's like, don't read this in case you haven't seen the movie yet, but immediately spoiler.
Yeah, we're gonna try. Like I had for Infinity War, I had to put like muted words on my Twitter just to like block out anything. And thank God I did, because the moment I took off the filter right after I saw the movie, just like barrage of tweets asking about what happens, and it's like that.
We love you guys.
Thank God I saw the earliest possible screening that I could, because if I had seen it like a little bit later, man, come on, guys. But anyway, let us know in the comments below.
So what you're saying is Thanos demanding everyone's silence didn't work?
Who would have thought? A letter from the filmmakers.
By the way, Russo brothers like deleted all their social media accounts for right before Infinity War came out, and was just like, hey, we're not going to show you anything until like the movie's gone. The only tweet that they've tweeted since then is the Infinity Gauntlet giving the middle finger to Ryan Reynolds. And it was so funny.
Well, let's move on to this week's trivia question. Keeping things in the realm of Deadpool, it sounds like, yeah. And our question is, in the first Deadpool movie, whose memoir are Wade and Vanessa reading for the Lent holiday during that Calendar Girl sex montage?
Whose memoir?
Lady, I didn't watch that.
All right, we have all of our questions here in the box, and as always, we will reveal the answer to the trivia question at the end of the episode, and the closest answer, as decided by our judges, will do our sign-off goodbyes. Meanwhile, the loser will have to cleverly riff on our In Other News headlines, and it'll be super fun, especially if it's Sam. But let's move on. Quick update with some big news from this week, guys. We want to cover all the big news stories that you need to know about. Rick and Morty announced that it will get 70 more episodes. Adult Swim greenlit them. That's like 7 more seasons if you do 10 episodes a season. Now there's no word on when season 4 will premiere, but now they have money and a contract to work on it. But this contract will bring the total number of Rick and Morty episodes to 100. That's crazy. I never thought it's unheard of to get an episode order that high in one go.
Well, I just remembered the other day, it was like, well, they were a bit nervous because they didn't know the future of the show. Right. And then it's like, boom, we're going to basically, what is that? Like more than double. We're going to more than double what you've already done.
Right. That's insane.
It's something I really like about animation, actually, because with Voltron on Netflix or whatever, they I guess because of animation production, they order the batch, you know what I mean? It's not just one season and then we'll see. It's like, no, you're going to be on for another 5 seasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes you feel more comfortable that the show has the time to go where they're going. Not that this is the most serialized show on TV.
I mean,
I was going to say, as a creator, do you kind of hear 70 episodes and you're like, oh boy.
Yeah, hopefully they take their time with it and don't rush it. I would say I love season 3 a ton. It did lose a bit of the spark that season 1 and 2 had. That might just be because the fan attention started to explode in season 3, and then you had a weird hype for things that weren't necessarily in the spirit of Rick and Morty, and it started to lose some of the innocence that the first 2 seasons had for me personally. I can hear them marching on me right now.
I like the Szechuan McDonald's debacle where the kids and the adults mainly were freaking out at McDonald's employees.
Yeah.
Proud of you guys. I'm glad you did that.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what conversation we're having during season 10.
Right. Long beards and Okay, everyone. Avengers Infinity War left us with some big questions about the future of the MCU, and spoiler warning. How will Marvel resolve half of the universe getting snapped out of existence when we come back for Avengers 4? Well, Gwyneth Paltrow, who of course plays Pepper Potts, teased a possible twist for the next movie in an interview this week. And one final warning, if you don't want to know anything about the upcoming film, but this is out there. Okay, Paltrow was asked about Pepper's relationship with Tony Stark throughout the films, and she said, quote, she obviously starts as his dutiful assistant, and then the relationship evolves, and now this decade later, they're married and they have a child. Their relationship has evolved in all the ways that great romances evolve. Whoa, Marvel Studios, this is what happens when you shoot 2 movies at the same time. Your actors get confused and start divulging details about the wrong movie. They forget what year it is. That's what we're looking at. Now it's out there. Let's talk about it. By a decade later, Paltrow seems to be hinting at a time jump, with the next Avengers movie taking place long after Thanos snaps half of everyone away, and a life just has moved on. They have a kid now. That's insane.
He peppered her pots.
She could also be referring to, at the beginning of the movie, they're getting ready to get married and they're having the conversation about having kids.
The Morgan conversation. Yeah, she could be referring to that. A decade later seems specific to me, and if it's true, it complicates the idea of simply resetting or reversing Thanos' move. Any attempt to undo the snap might undo the new lives that Tony and the others have built in the aftermath of this event. And it presents a huge narrative stakes for all the characters. Like, even if they're presented with the way to bring down Thanos and fix everything, they might not even want to embark on that mission at all, because maybe they're kind of...
They should want.
They should want. But it makes it interesting. It makes an interesting choice, right? Like, do I give up this life that I've kind of moved on with? Do I have to go back? What do you guys find most interesting about Avengers 4 opening with a time jump?
The way it was, I read this earlier. I thought she was just referencing the first Iron Man movie to now. I thought that just meant that it would have been 10 years. Because also, if you think about 10-year time jump, that's how long it took Captain Marvel to come down after she got paged. What could she? I mean, if she had ditched every other major event, of course it took her 10 years to get here, because she had either other obligations or she just didn't want to come. If it does mean 10 years, don't do that. Don't be so mean. Also, it took you guys 10 years to figure out what to do next. Something sounds fishy.
I also feel like if you do the time jump, you're not time jumping to hey, everybody's happy. It's like Mad Max after half the population goes away. I don't think there's hey, we're all living normal lives, but now what? It's no, there's not. I don't think there's a recovery period after.
It could be post-apocalyptic at that point, and they just have a kid because they have.
What would be interesting is something like they like to do that I think kind of gained popularity specifically with X-Men and the Age of Apocalypse and stuff like that. But they've since done with the Avengers and stuff like that. If somebody from an apocalyptic future comes in, so Thanos snaps, oh no. Graybeard Tony flies in from the future, guys, it's so much worse than we gotta, you know what I mean? I'm married and have a kid with Pepper, but other than that, it's a real nightmare.
I regret everything. It is feeling more and more X-Men to me, and I feel like this is when you induce time travel as a solution. You remove all stakes. It's well, what was the point of all of that? And I, as much as I love X-Men, they're all over the place with what they've been doing. The fact that they've got two different actors playing the same character in different decades, basically. I don't know. I want it simplified. I think that this is just Gwyneth Paltrow trying to be relevant.
Ooh. I didn't get to that.
Trying to decode.
I'm the most important Avenger.
Right, I'm in this movie too. I mean, trying to parse out exactly what she says. You're right. She could be referring to the decade since the first Iron Man to now. I just think in context of talking about having a new kid, that's different. She's not revealed to be pregnant in the movie. They're just talking about the hypothetical of having a kid. And she even says she doesn't want to.
Iron Man's famous power is dream future.
Yeah, dream that is famous. Well known.
Saw the baby.
It's very interesting, and that's why I hope we talked about in past episodes the options with how you would fix Thanos' decision, right? Time travel is one option. We also talked about the idea of jumping into a different reality, Rick and Morty style, and that's why I would hope that if they do go this way, maybe not time travel, but jumping into another reality or some other kind of dimension or realm, something that we haven't seen over and over again in movies.
Someone actually DM'd me who watches New Rockstars. Let me see if I can get the name correct. They sent me this theory, and at first I was a lot of people sent theories, and it's kind of hard to figure them all out. But this one was really sad. It was from Rachel Evans. There we go. She mentioned that what if the idea that when Doctor Strange says this is the only way, that it doesn't mean that Doctor Strange loses and he disappears. It's that everyone we're seeing. We're not seeing people who are being erased. Everyone who remains is kind of in a limbo state, and everyone who erased is actually the person who lived. And we're just seeing the point of view of people who actually already died.
That's super fascinating.
Yeah, and I was wait, don't do that. So that's already so what's the point of the next movie?
It's almost kind of this is actually hell, you know? We didn't make it. We're the dead ones. We're the ghosts. Yeah.
Left behind.
Oh, that would be super exciting to see. Well, let us know what you make of this. Is it just Gwyneth Paltrow misspeaking? Do you think this could actually happen? And if so, how do you think would be the best way to handle this so it doesn't follow down the steps of people who have maybe used time travel too indulgently to fix things, which I don't think we want to see. But all right, another quick update from the news this week. Solo, a Star Wars story, is surprising everyone with its advanced ticket sales. Far higher than anticipated, besting Black Panther sales and coming second only to Avengers Infinity War. We're talking about advanced sales.
Star Wars movie?
Yeah. Last week we chatted about how enthusiasm appears to be lower for Han Solo and the Star Wars brand, but according to these numbers, we may have been a bit off. Just kind of editorializing a bit here. I'm curious to dig into the data science of this. I wonder if movies like Force Awakens, but then also Black Panther and Infinity War caused movie theaters to open up advanced ticket sales more and expand it so that it allowed. Hey, boo.
It took longer than I was. I've been
so
leaving
far.
for so long until I got into the frame.
Like, I don't
bring up a good point.
Yeah, I don't know how advanced ticket sales work. Like maybe AMC and Regal and ArcLight theaters around the country are like, oh, we'll just offer more and more advanced ticket sales because Black Panther proved that this is a thing that people
Got it.
will invest
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
and then it led to.
What are the variables there? It doesn't sound like it's consistent with each movie. It's just
Yeah, it doesn't. Like, and
You
maybe
just
Disney
really
is-
don't
yeah.
want Solo to be as
I don't want
beloved.
to. Or maybe people just are really actually excited for Solo, and I'm like putting my own spin and biasing the news. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I think this is. It's all money. It's all like people are gonna go watch all these movies anyway, and Disney's probably like, let's just like pressure these things. Like it's gonna do well. Trust us.
Yeah.
Offer more advanced ticket sales, and then people will pay for it. And they have. They definitely proved me wrong last week.
What do you think the response is going to be for Solo? Because I feel like this one has a weird baggage because it's associated with one of the most iconic characters in the series, but played by a different actor. And there's a director.
Why don't I just tell you?
And the director was switch over. Well, I mean, but you know how you feel. But how do you think general audiences are going to respond?
Hi, I went to the premiere last night.
She's cooler than we are.
Ooh, so cool.
And it was very interesting to chat with a bunch of people, diehard fans and people that have never seen Star Wars before or never really indulged in Star Wars before. And the people that are hardcore fans were a little bit, not shell-shocked, but they needed a lot more time to process it. And they were just like, I've got questions. Whereas the people that knew nothing going in had the best time. So I think my understanding is that Disney isn't about pandering and making sure that the diehard fans who were already invested in Star Wars stay. They're actually more concerned about bringing in a whole new audience.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. It's hard to please both of those.
Well,
Exactly.
Also,
Last Jedi.
Is there a new audience?
Yes.
Like, are there people that don't know?
The first Star Wars
having-
came out in 77.
Babies.
I think
also,
so,
most
yeah.
of, I remember when Force Awakens came out and China was like, yeah, we don't know who these characters are.
Yeah, that's
and that's
fair.
the second biggest audience in the world. So it's like, yeah, we're going to make movies for them. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And I
was
definitely had a
dramatic.
point, and it shot right out of my
I
brain.
thought you were being dramatic.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, Sam's gonna
And
drop
just
something
punch
big.
in.
Sam had a point.
Yeah, there's my nephews have seen like The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and I think they saw Phantom Menace and some of the other prequels, but knew those far more than the original
exactly.
trilogy.
It's a new audience.
Yeah, I think there is a new generation.
There you go.
I remembered.
He's
And
back.
the hardcore nerds for Star Wars got all their favorite stuff in the prequels with the trade agreements. And that diner that they had. you
big
got
diner.
you got everything you wanted.
Yeah.
All right, it's our turn.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
You're
know.
upset.
I think.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I expect the movie to be pleasing. Like I think we'll have a good time with it. Like it's Ron Howard and it's Disney. There's so much like quality control over these things. I don't think we'll walk out and be like, what the hell was that? But who knows? I with so much excitement for it, maybe I should just like get off my high horse and just enjoy the movie.
I'm going to go in just as
You a minor?
trying to. Yes.
I'm 2 kids tacked on top of each
Yeah,
other.
I'm going to go in and try and treat it as if it's a standalone space heist movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Definitely do
mean?
that.
Without
good,
any
yeah.
pre-expectations of what should fit within this world or whatever. And I think I'm going to be way more on board with that mindset.
Yeah,
I
think that's a good
get
attitude to
I get a very Speed Racer vibe with Emil Hirsch kind of
I
deal.
actually really liked Speed Racer, the Wachowski Speed Racer. I think that movie's a lot of fun.
I did not.
I didn't see it.
So that does not bode well for me.
well, not like the flashing lights, but
And
just like
the
more of a
the
retro
panning
vibe.
faces.
Yeah, I really like Speed Racer.
It just had its 10-year anniversary, didn't it?
Happy birthday.
Happy anniversary, Speed Racer. Okay, with Avengers Infinity War behind us, everyone's focus has now shifted to the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Marvel head Kevin Feige has been particularly quiet about what movies will be in Phase 4, perhaps to avoid any hints about who will survive the next Avengers movie. But one fan posted on Reddit a dream version of the upcoming MCU lineup with some interesting title options. There's Avengers Infinity Crusade, Spider-Man Learning Curve, Doctor Strange Nightmare, Thor God of Thunder. Now these again,
Ant-Man and the Wasp
Unlimited. I kind of want them to be a bit limited. Now, again, this is not real. This is fan-made, and it's compiled with fan-suggested titles that have been
like
popping
it.
up on different social media for all these movies. Now, hopefully, Black Panther's sequel will be better than Black Panther Returns, and Captain Marvel, if she gets a sequel, will have a better title than Captain Marvel 2.
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns
Say
is
no
great,
more.
but Now, prompter's moving fast. Fans are speculating that Infinity Crusade could be the next title because it's a title of the Marvel Comics storyline that comes after the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity War, and it follows Adam Warlock as he tries to use the gauntlet wisely. I would say, in my opinion, the actual events of Infinity Crusade wouldn't maybe not make the best Avengers 4 movie, but in my opinion, the word Crusade does evoke a classic Knights of the Round Table kind of adventure that could be kind of fun to see.
I'm about it.
What title would you guys like to see for the next Avengers movie, and maybe some of these others that are on this list?
I think Infinity Crusade is a fun title, but I don't know why they would have kept it such a secret then, because they've really made a weirdly big deal about keeping the title in wraps. They've said it's a spoiler, basically. Fans should be scared.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, because I was actually thinking, if you're going to go with a comic series, even though this one doesn't roll off the tongue like Infinity Crusade does, Thanos Imperative.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, because that was a big cosmic crossover, and I think Thanos is probably, maybe play a big part in this one. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they continue cribbing from Infinity Gauntlet, that story, if the Avengers have to team up with Thanos, which I think would provide a lot of character tension, because obviously they have all the reasons in the world to
He hurt a
hate
few
him.
people.
Yeah, just a couple.
Half of people.
That's the only one I can think of that why would matter to keep it a secret on any level.
Yeah. Or maybe Infinity's Sacrifice or something like that, or something implying the deaths.
And people suggested, because of Skrulls and Captain Marvel, Secret Invasion, but it's there's no possible way. They've got too many other things to wrap up from Infinity War to dive into a whole nother crossover event.
Yeah,
you know,
agreed.
I'm just looking at the themes of Hollywood at the moment, and it needs to have rise or shadow in it at the moment. Dawn is a good one. Another one. Yeah.
Well, also think about this, because they said it's supposed to hurt, so it could be Avengers, Robert Downey Jr. is not coming back anymore. Now you can't stop us. Spider-Man's still dead.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I want that. It's not even.
Put that time
it's not
code
even
down.
bleeped on the title. It's just just remember your favorite character is real dead.
Yeah.
I'm not even. I'm gonna say
Sam
the third
just
one
went-
for myself. That's
Sam
just
just
for
went a little
me.
evil there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's supposed to hurt.
Yeah. I also think the next,
What if it's just a middle finger?
Yeah, it's just that I think
The gauntlet
Spider-Man's
middle
going to
finger?
be Spider-Man Graduation.
Yeah,
Because it's supposed to take place during his senior year,
Yeah.
and they're going with a school thing.
I think that would be a good one for the third one, for sure.
Saduation.
Yeah, a good third instead of No More. I don't know what No More means,
Finger
but
guns.
Learning Curve I think would be a really cool title for a second one.
Well,
You know,
I think
a good
that
school-related
movie 2
thing.
is supposed to take place during his senior year, right? Because now we've jumped ahead to the timeline's super confusing.
Right, and the character is currently MIA. So who knows? What
Well, that's a good question. I was seeing an article that was talking about how do you after that movie comes out 2 months after the next Avengers. How do you advertise for it? Considering
It's a spoiler.
it would be a spoiler for the, and I think the answer is you go for it. You spoil it.
Or the movie that you promote maybe doesn't have Peter Parker in it. I don't know.
so strange.
It's weird to have a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man in it, but I don't know.
Which Spider-Man? No, Miles
You could do
Morales.
Miles
You
Morales,
could, and that way,
What?
that actually is a really good.
He's been brought up
So
Donald
in-
Glover played his uncle.
The
in
reason
a movie,
why
yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man shows up is because Peter dies, and so Miles takes up the mantle after Peter's gone.
But
That'd
we're
be
already getting
great.
a Miles movie, so that would be confusing. Yeah, I 100% Peter Parker's going to be back, and it would shock me if they don't just straight once they start. Oh, he's
It'd
just
be
back.
pretty shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Miles High Club. Boy, get lucky.
What is happening in this movie? He's flying
He's
to
a
London,
middle
as we know.
schooler.
It's oh boy, he
thought they'd all
grew up fast.
graduated.
I like the God of Thunder title for another Thor movie. I would love to see a fourth Thor movie, especially after Ragnarok. I think
Ragnarok's
Valhalla
so
might be a better
good.
name than God of Thunder. Valhalla,
Yeah.
using another kind of Odin, Asgardian term.
Well, that means the Valkyries will be there as well.
What
Yeah,
about Thor
Valkyrie's
and
good.
Valkyrie, like Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Oh yeah.
What about a Valkyrie movie?
Or just Valkyrie,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
What about Bad Bitches of Marvel?
Which that's got to happen, right? The all-female team-up thing. That's got to be in the works.
We had it for 5 minutes in the movie. It was nice.
It happened.
A
There's
bit
one scene
on the
in the
nose,
movie.
but
Yeah.
it was still
Yeah.
nice.
For
Yeah.
literally just a second though,
Yeah.
and it was because I rewatched it for a third time this week, and it was this is cool, and then it ends really fast, and I was like, this would have been it would have been cooler if it lasted a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to make room for Drax to try and convince everybody he's invisible.
Right.
See, you're the only person who doesn't like that joke.
Whoa, that's
The slow eating
shade
chip.
that
Yeah.
ripples
You gotta
off
slow
you.
things
We
down
don't have
sometime.
time for Captain America to have 3 extra lines. We got to make room for Drax to make everybody think he's invisible.
Worth it. I love that joke.
He
That was great.
earned his airtime. I think he's
Well, let us know what title, like, pitch us your titles for what you would love to see in these other ones. Like, Kevin Feige is reading all of these threads. He needs ideas.
This is how he comes up with it.
Let's help him do his
They're 10
billion
years
dollar a
deep.
year
How else are they
job.
going to come up with ideas?
He's like the guy at the startup who like literally they have not produced anything that they promised, and they're like, oh, don't worry, come on guys, like this is an open floor, everyone gets to throw out ideas. And like Spider-Man, what if they just started to like whittle it down to like what fans want? Spider-Man, the black costume. And it's like it's just like another.
We did it, but we can try it again.
Yeah.
Great, thanks guys. But yeah, we want to hear from you. But now it's time for us to move on to our new Rockstars news lightning round. Man, every time that's a hard one to pull out. You guys tweeted us these questions. I'm gonna fire them at my co-hosts. They gotta answer them as quickly and without hesitation as possible. Are we ready, everyone? Okay, Maude at Kirax Sirius
as fast as possible.
wants to
please.
know, how will Iron Man handle a lack of toilet paper while alone on that planet at the end of Infinity War?
His AI will supply.
Hey, if it
Also,
rhymes,
I
it's
think that's
great.
why he's with Nebula. She's going to fly him off. Like, I think
that'll fix
opening
it.
minutes of Avengers 4, Iron Man's like, I'm back on Earth.
Yeah, Nebula doesn't go anywhere without a roll of Charmin.
lightning.
Yeah. Sam this isn't her handle, but India Brazil wants to know, what would a 90s era grunge band with Nebula, Mantis, Valkyrie, Groot, and Gamora in it be called?
What?
I'm sorry.
India wants to know what your 90s era grunge band name will be for people in that band. Just take the first letter of all their names.
Okay.
They're pretty grungy.
You
Come on,
pulled
Sam.
from an era when I was an infant and
Classic.
when
What are the grunge
and-
bands? Nirvana.
Just feel it, reach into your soul and pull out a name.
The Jessica Joneses.
yeah, that's good.
Trambles.
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 Look out. Trambles
the
on
Trambles.
their
The
world tour.
Trambles.
Sid Trambles. What are you gonna make you do?
Tramble.
Wait, is it Tremble or
That's
is
how
it,
the audience responds. What are you gonna make you do?
Trambo.
is it Tremble or Tramble?
I like
I think
Tramble.
the Trambles.
Trambles.
Yeah.
The Trambles.
All right, DJ.
I'd wear that.
At Stephanie Kelly wants to know, do you think Hulk not coming out to help in the fight is a product of performance anxiety due to planet Earth hating Hulk, or a bigger problem that they will explore?
I think it'd be really interesting.
good
I
question.
was on a friend's show, a friend of mine named Star. She brought up that maybe Hulk was, because as far as Hulk knows, Thor's dead.
Yeah.
And so maybe it was something like that. And I actually think that's really interesting as opposed to what I think it actually is. I think he got his butt handed to him. And
Yeah.
I guess Hulk is a wuss now and can't take it.
He doesn't like losing.
Yeah,
He's not used to
Hulk is a
losing.
very different character than he was even in the first Avengers.
Yeah.
And they've kind of made him. I don't know. I think it's the Russos actually talked about this a little bit. He's also kind of tired of saving Banner, which I also think is actually more interesting than him just being
that's
like, I got
interesting.
hurt.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so I hope they emphasize that more in 4 because Hulk is one of my favorite characters. And
Lightning round.
It's a great answer. It's a good question and a fascinating answer.
brought up good points, but this is what the
Maude, you gotta say
segment's
one of those
about.
three options,
knew.
whichever one you think would be. I
Now
put
you're
3
a
options on the
robot.
card for me. I've always been a robot.
All right.
Just been good at fooling them.
At _Canderella, what would be your own creative way to defeat Thanos? You may use any Avenger that you would like to.
Oh, I don't need any Avengers because I'm going to get them with riddles. What walks on
I regret
4
asking
legs
that.
and then 2 legs, then 3 legs? Oh, you know that's human being. Damn, Soulstone gives you a lot of knowledge. Well, I'm going to find a riddle that he won't know. Perhaps something from the DC universe, one of Riddler's riddles, because I can do that and he can't. I got him, guys. I got the gauntlet. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to make the world what I want it to be, where I have everyone be my friends forever, and no one can ever leave. Be here
oh, cool. It does
forever.
go, I was going to
Don't
ask you if
leave
it goes
me.
on the hand. And it does. I like that.
Yay!
Is this one made out of cloth? Like in the
And the comics, the makeup of the gauntlet in the comics is a little confusing. Like, is it?
The Infinity Glove.
Yeah, it's more like a glove. And you know what? The stones are all different colors.
So you
in this
tell him
one.
a riddle, and he's like,
He's just so tired of talking to me.
Let me take off my glove. And
I also turned up the thermostat,
and
and that's really what the trick was. Hey, guys, thanks for asking us. I'm going to wear this for the rest because it looks like I'm mad. All right, everyone. Thanks for tweeting us those questions. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at what we got in the pipeline for videos coming out on this channel in the next week. Next week is Deadpool week, so we're going to have a Deadpool review. That'll be this New Rockstars News next week. We're also going to look at the Deadpool post-credit scene and what happens in that. This is a video that you might see. We saw James Gunn tweet this week that there are Easter eggs in both the Guardians of the Galaxy movies that people have not found yet. So we're gonna look into that and see if we can find exactly what this missing Easter egg is. We've reviewed the movies a couple times. Yeah. Sam did a rewatch.
I just went through them.
We're gonna
not good enough.
But you didn't have the gauntlet.
It turns out it's stuff Groot has said that he decided in his mind.
He's like this, and
he didn't figure out what it meant.
Like BB-8 saying, "I have a bad feeling about this." They just like retroactively decided that's where the quote was. We'll find out what it is. Okay, now comes the time for our 15-second shout-outs, where each of us has 15 seconds to shout out or plug or tramble about anything we want. And Sam, why don't you start?
All right, you brought this up earlier, DJ, but I want to do a shout-out for it because the episode was wonderful this week. Legion. There's 5 episodes of season 2, but only 8, maybe 10 in season 1, and you can watch season 1 on Hulu, and if you get the FX app, you can watch season 2.
Yeah, check it out.
Amazing.
For my shout out, I'm going to, many of you saw it and already tweeted us about it, Donald Glover, Childish Gambino's This Is America music video. Oh man, this is so great. And yeah, I wish we had time to like do a breakdown of this. We don't normally do breakdown of like hip hop music videos. It's just not really what we do, although this is so dense and so amazing, so full of meaning. I wish I could. There are plenty of other sources, like I think Washington Post and a ton of other people kind of broke down the imagery of it, but man, it's a really great like history lesson and stuff that you really do need to know about. There's a whole other story happening in the background of that music video that we should all learn more about for sure.
Sweet. Yeah. My 15-second shout out, I don't know why Sam didn't mention it. Only Stupid Answers had their 100th episode.
Hey!
They did a live show, not long ago, and it was amazing. And Smallcast got a little bit in there, but DJ and Sam did an amazing job. And I think you're going to release it as a podcast, and you can listen to it.
And there'll be like a video version of it too. You can watch like the whole thing, and there's going to be a fun adventure style vlog that you guys will find links to on our social medias.
All right, so that was on behalf of you. Real quickly, here's my Punderwear shirt. It's Jurassic Park meets Star Wars as a raptor.
That's good.
It's
That's a good
Admiral
bit.
Akbar as a raptor.
That's a good bit.
Punderwear.net, guys.
That's good.
If you guys go to chaostheorycomic.com, you can find my comic book. It's volume 2 of my series Chaos Theory, Zombies versus Dinosaurs. So if you like the movies we talk about here, I found my pitch. I was trying, like, if you thought of Infinity War was the greatest crossover ever, does it have zombies or dinosaurs?
No, it doesn't.
This does. So you might want to check that out. It's every crazy thing I ever wanted to put in a comic. And it's 5 issues, 100 pages. If you contribute $25 or more, which is a physical tier, it's where you get a package, and you're coming from New Rockstars, you can go to the comment section on the Kickstarter page, and you can say, hey, I'm from New Rockstars, and I will throw into your package a postcard map of the United States. There it is. Boom. And it's the United States in this universe, and it's gone through some stuff. All right. So there's a ton of prints. There's all this stuff. I know I'm over my 15 seconds. You can also
look at this.
Get original cover art like this.
He brought visual aids.
Wait.
He's got a glare, but
there it is.
We got it. That's
so my face. No one needs to see me.
So you can get original cover art by our amazing cover artist Tom Neely, and prints from other amazing artists and a bunch of cool stuff. And I really want to make this comic happen. So please go check it out and contribute if you can.
We're all trying to do cool shit. Yay!
Yeah, check that out, guys. Get on that. Okay, finally, let's return to our trivia question that we asked earlier. I'm going to move it here. The answer is here. Just to remind everyone, I'm sorry, Sam.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You have the power of the universe
the Flash now.
Yeah, my life is better.
I get one go at this.
Snap. You all watch the Flash
in here.
And then, okay. So our trivia question to remind us what it is in the first Deadpool movie, whose memoir are Wade and Vanessa reading for the Lent holiday during the Calendar Girl sex montage?
I mean, I saw it the other day as well. Like, I was on a plane and I was like, good movie.
That'd be a good one to rewatch. Let's go down the line and see what we said.
Starting with Maude said, I've never left a blank answer on a card before, and I don't intend to start today, so I'll say share.
Okay.
She wrote a memoir?
Probably.
Probably.
She's probably written
I
several
was like,
memoirs.
Who hasn't?
And,
What would Thanos' memoir be like? Anyway.
Barack Obama says DJ.
Oh,
Maybe
what's it
memoir
called?
it up.
Audacity of Hope, or I don't know what his is called. Yeah, that sounds like a good one. And then Blank of a Geisha. Oh, so Memoirs of a Geisha. Oh, that's good. That's a good answer.
Did you just realize what it was right now?
Yeah. Erik wrote Gwen Stefani.
Is it Hollaback Girl callback maybe?
Is it?
I don't know.
Is
I
it
don't think
right?
it's right. No, it's not right. The answer is Mario Lopez. Mario Lopez is.
I thought it was the Obama one. I honestly thought that was
would
the
be
right
good.
answer.
Mario Lopez, wasn't there that bit with him on Access Hollywood? Not Access Hollywood. It was whatever the show he
Extra.
was. Extra, where he like tackled him to announce that the movie would be R-rated. And so I think maybe they referenced that. Okay, well there's
That's
the
a
answer.
deep cut.
We
That's a
were
deep
all
cut.
wrong.
Wrong.
All of us were wrong.
Yeah.
But who was the wrongest judges?
I think maybe Sam.
Sam might have been the
It
wrong.
wasn't even a person.
Wasn't even.
It was a real
Well, there was a
thing.
real geisha.
It is
but
a real
Memoirs
of a
actually,
Geisha.
It is not
a
a
celebrity.
memoir, though. It's a novel.
Yeah.
But it's real.
It is
It
real.
has
a
the
real
word
memoir.
And you
memoir.
can't read
in it.
from it. I don't think Mario Lopez is actually
Sorry,
written.
Sam.
It was his Saved by the Bell memoir.
You
I
got
think.
this.
Yeah, because he wrote a memoir about his Saved by the Bell years.
Is this a piggy bank?
Oh, maybe.
It is a piggy bank.
Oh.
I mean,
It's so much more than a piggy
Yeah.
bank. All right, and who was our winner? Maude is our winner. Okay, great.
Shared pop culture. I get it.
Yeah, that
I
works.
Get it.
Okay, so Maude will get to do our goodbyes. Sam will do our In Other News headlines. I'll set up the headlines. Sam will have to quickly riff on it in some hilarious way, and I'm sure we'll all love it.
you got
Okay,
this.
everyone ready to go?
Yes.
In other news, Robert Downey Jr.'s original Iron Man suit was stolen from a Los Angeles prop warehouse.
that's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay. Well, it's not. He stole our hearts with that role.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
I mean,
Yes.
that's the fact.
It's
I want
just
to
a
cry.
fact.
Funny, that
That was great. Okay, next up, Universal Studios Hollywood, which is literally right across the street from us right now, announced that the Jurassic Park River Ride will close down to be replaced by a Jurassic World ride. Okay.
He's actually devastated.
Yeah.
because that was a really dumb move.
Is
Hey,
it because
Jurassic
the-
World's where the money is,
It's-
kids.
yeah. So closing down that fossil.
You know what?
Yeah, other fossil.
You
Yeah,
know what?
sure.
That actually
Closing down
was
that
pretty
fossil.
solid. Like if you had more commitment to that.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
believe
it was a
in
good.
yourself.
Yeah, calling it a
I
fossil.
was
It's the
like-
oldest
Stop
ride at the
dying
park.
inside.
Yeah.
It's really.
I
It's
got
just
a little
selling
bit
it.
of dry heavy.
All right, next up, Harley Quinn's upcoming spin-off movie has been described by insiders as an R-rated girl gang film.
Well, it very is going to the I hope it's like Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. No, there's
What you think of when you think of R-rated girl gang?
when I thought of Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
I love your mind.
It's really great.
I
It's
thought
such a good character
it was
study.
yes anding what my brain's thought of first.
And
you're
I
my
think it was a good
hero.
move. Okay.
My eyes are sweating.
They're
They're just crying. That's what you're crying.
They
Okay.
sting though.
All right. The Avengers actors got matching tattoos of a symbol that fans have tried to decode for clues for the next movie.
What's the symbol?
Give
Put
Erik.
We'll put it in post.
Give Erik just a week and he's got you covered, kid.
Yeah. We've analyzed cakes for Infinity War clues. We did a cake
20
down.
minutes breaking down a damn cake.
We'll do a tat down. Yeah. Tat down.
Is there more?
Yeah, though, there's one
Sweating.
more.
I have
Here
to
we
change
go.
my shirt.
And then finally, the Russo brothers said that Scarlet Witch lost her Russian accent over time because her character is on the run and she's trying to blend in.
That works.
Well, hey, if she couldn't blend in with that Russian accent, might as well try blending in the Rookskot. I had it there in the beginning.
What's a Rook's Cup?
Scotland. That's what I tried to say.
Rookskot.
Scott.
Uh-huh.
Sounds like Great Scott.
You guys,
This is great. Like, this
why
is what I
did you guys?
live
Why do you
for.
guys turn up the heater when this starts? Why every single time
this is fun.
when it starts, it
helps
gets
you.
hotter.
Right side. Oh man.
I'd make people forget. I'd make it so
That's what we
probability
want.
said I never have to do this again.
Hold on, real
Right
quickly
out.
though, I've
And
lived in
snap.
America for 5 years, even though I'm not on the run.
Feels
5
so good.
years and I haven't lost my accent. So I call bullshit.
Yeah. It's just
She's
like
been
it wasn't
trained
that
by
good.
Black Widow to be a spy.
And Black Widow makes sense because
doesn't
it's
have
been
a-
her whole
okay.
career for
But
Scarlet
also,
Witch.
maybe she could have improved her accent since Scarlet Black Widow's supposed to be Russian.
You just gave up. You gave
No,
up.
I got
We've
lost.
all moved on.
I got lost.
Sometimes you get lost in the
It was
way.
two spy female leads with red hair that are both supposed to be Russian or Eastern European. I was starting to lose it.
Wow. All right. Wow. All right. Maude, take away our goodbyes. Congratulations.
Oh, that was just life-giving. Thank you, Sam. If you do want more of Sam Bash's, what do you call that? Like just
Stamping.
sustenance.
It is stamped.
Sustenance at Sam Basher, so you can get that goodness, that gold. Erik Voss at EA Voss. What have you been tweeting about lately? Cool story, bro.
go try
We've
to
also
find
got DJ Wooldridge at DJ Talks Trash, which is an indicator of what you'll get from Twitter. And he likes to preface and warn so that no one's like, wait a second, and he's like, what the hell, man?
I'll let you know.
I'm talking trash.
Yeah.
Full
Yeah.
transparency. My name's Maude Garrett, aka Winner. And the fact that I won with Cher, like, damn.
Yeah.
Fist bump.
Yeah. If you could turn back time, how would you
If I
save
could
the,
turn back
the
Darn.
Avengers?
Darn.
I would save Spider-Man.
That was a Will and Grace joke.
Yeah. It's good.
That's all. Comment down
yeah.
below and tweet. I'm sorry, I won. I'm just going to
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
New Rockstars. You can like this video. Like it if you feel like a winner. Share it around if you've got friends that also want to geek out. And subscribe to New Rockstars because they've got over 1 million and that's bullshit good. Thanks, guys. Be back next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for having me.